Hi, my name is Gabriel Batistuta, and today I'm going to talk about the power of discipline. It was 5 in the morning. It was raining and cold. I was about 16 years old. I got up, put the kettle on the fire, left the mathy, the light bulb, to one side, and grabbed the brush, the shoe polish, and the chamois. Like every day, I left everything ready for my father to get up, drink some good mate with foam, put on his well-polished shoes, and go to work. It was a day like any other, but that day I made the first important decision of my life. That day I decided that I had to do something more for myself and for them. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, and really, if someone had asked me, I would have said that I preferred volleyball as a sport. A great missionary. Today, at 50 years old, I am still sometimes surprised, screaming bear, when I pass people on the street who look at me. I do as if these weren't my hands, as if this weren't my skin, as if the person speaking to them weren't me. This is the myth of success. This myth of success that makes you look strange, like something strange, like you are not human. And that is precisely what I would like to talk to you about, share something with you, and tell you that there are 3 things that have accompanied me throughout my career. 3 simple things, but for me, they have been fundamental. Having a clear objective, humility, and discipline. Clear objective, humility, and discipline. On that rainy day, I focused on my objective. And as I was saying, I was not sure what I was going to do, but I was determined to try everything possible and impossible to forge a different future. At that time, several years ago in the 80s and 90s, 99% of the kids who tried to become professional soccer players failed. At Giles boarding house, I studied because that's what was demanded of me, and I trained every day, knowing full well that only 1% of us would make it. And at the boarding house, there were 8 of us. If I wanted to, the numbers didn't add up. No, the numbers didn't add up. A year and a half. It took my first contract to arrive. A year and a half, full of doubts. A year and a half, without knowing if the eternal trips to the north, to Rosario, that at that time were 10 hours long, if those eternal trips to go sleep under a cement stand, under a bed that wasn't made of cement but was similar to training, being away from my girlfriend's parents' friends without knowing if all that sacrifice would lead me to a concrete achievement. A year and a half, I had just told them that the expectation of a soccer career was 10 years, so I had already spent 15% of the time I had available there was to keep going. Then, in Rosario, I met one of my greatest mentors, Marcelo Bielsa. I don't know if it happens to you, but you usually listen to the people you admire, you respect in some way, and I learned in my youth I should listen to one of the most anticipated moments for me when I was a child. When a young man, it was the Sunday after dinner conversation. There I could listen to the stories of my grandparents, my parents, my uncles, their friends, and I could always rescue something. Of course, there were countless stories, and many ended in a happy ending, and others not so much. And there I learned to listen from a place of humility, because there I realized that I didn't know everything that I thought I knew. I realized that by listening with humility, one can always learn more than the person in front of you, their social status or their appearance. You can always learn something, and I always maintained that humility from that learning. Even many years later, when my career was already signed, yes, I can do it, so to speak. I had a coach who suggested that I cut my hair so I could play for his team. Of course, it seemed like a joke to me because I had been playing in Italy for 67 years. For me, having long hair was like walking. I don't know how to dress. It was a trademark, and it surprised me. And there you have it, the humility I was talking about before, the humility that helped me control my ego, which at that time I had up there. I had scored a ton of goals, I was already playing for the national team, so one tends to fly. So that humility helped me control it and decide to cut my hair because I realized that my goal was to make history for the national team, and that was much bigger than cutting my hair. Later on, there was also a case where it helped me a lot. I played for Fiorentina. He came to Roma to buy me from Fiorentina. I was little less than a king. He could do anything apart from playing badly. He could even say some outrageous things that no one said anything to me, because I had already earned respect in those 6 or 7 years that I had been there. So Roma logically said, "Knight, he's comfortable there. We don't have to excite him, we have to incentivize him." So they promised me everything you can imagine. They promised me everything from the captain's armband to the number 9 shirt to a lot of things that are useless to name. But above all, I promised myself to fight for the championship, which was something that I was looking for. And there's another time humility played a trick on me and told me it's not worth entering that locker room, that group of players with the captain's armband rushing each other. It's better to enter as one more willing to work and learn, like all the others. So I left the captain's armband to Totti. He said, "Totti, some people know about football. He's a very famous one," who at that time wasn't so famous. But he was already captain because he was a Roman and we played Figaro. I left him the number 9 shirt, mounted, and I focused on my objective, which was to win the championship. And it was much bigger than an armband or a number. I can't say that these 2 decisions have marked my career, but I can say that I can affirm that several of these decisions have been made a while ago. It's not much. For 2 weeks I returned from Europe. I went to get an ankle prosthesis done. Maybe the most veteran here. I don't see much then. Many young ones. But during my career, my ankle was my weak point. I always suffered with ankle pain. That was a pain I was forgetting. The older ones out there know that it hurt me sometimes, the ankle. What you probably don't know is that every day of my career, my ankle hurt. That pain that is in capital letters. That pain that when you go to put your foot down, when you get up, you're waiting to see when it's going to hurt. If it's going to hurt a lot positive in the little. If it's going to let you go to the bathroom, that type of pain. I remember the pain, and it hurts my life. Well, the thing is that the pain didn't defeat me. Keep going, keep walking. Even when I was in river, that's where I had made the mentality of this. I was 6 months without playing. The truth is that I trained the same, or more, with my teammates. And I would arrive on Sunday and be out in the next Sunday and be out and so for 6 months, where of course it crossed my mind several times to return to Rosario, which was the club where I had emerged, where I had come from. It was a club that I knew, a team of teammates, a city that loved me. I felt protected, but I wanted to succeed. I wanted to succeed and I couldn't slack off. If I wanted to succeed, I had to demand more of myself. I had to find strength from where I didn't have it, and I had to continue to challenge myself and do it, and it was like that. With that mentality that neither the pain nor that feeling of failure defeated me. Much later on, I was not defeated. The distractions defeated me. The distractions that come with success and with money and with fame. I was thinking about this, and I was getting a little excited, but that's what I call discipline. Mental discipline. The discipline that never allowed me to give up, that always allowed me to keep my ego where it belonged. Mental discipline to follow the objective. That I had upwards, the only thing that interested me. Physical discipline to train myself despite the pain in my ankle. To train myself as if it were the last training session. As if there were no tomorrow. Discipline. The same discipline that I applied every day to get up, prepare the mate, illustrate the shoes. Thank you.